Hey guys, just wanted to make a quick reaction video to the Man City Arsenal game this morning. If you saw the game, obviously, there's a lot to talk about, so I'll try to talk about each incident as it happened. First point of the game happened pretty much right after the opening whistle between Rodri and Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz ran into him. It looked like I definitely think he did it intentionally. I could have understood had he gotten yellow carded for that, although I'm sure it was so early on in the game the ref didn't want to pull out any cards too early, so he kind of let it go. And then a couple minutes later, there was another incident between Haaland and Saliba where Haaland came in high and late on Saliba. Michael Oliver, the referee, chose to let it go again, so he's again set a precedent for showing that he's going to allow things to be pretty physical and allow a lot of things to go throughout the game. Then in the opening minutes of the game, as was kind of expected, Man City had a lot of the ball. It was in the Arsenal final third, a decent amount, and they got a goal pretty early on in the ninth minute. Ricardo Calafiori got beat pretty bad by Savinho, who had a breakaway and was able to slip a pass into Haaland, who scored in the ninth minute to give Man City an early 1-0 lead. Arsenal responded pretty well, got an equalizer off of a quick restart in the 22nd minute. Man City seemed to be upset with how quickly Arsenal was allowed to restart play. But anyway, the goal stood, so Arsenal back in the game 1-1. And then after that, I think Arsenal was starting to settle into the game pretty well. The last 15 minutes or so of the first half, they were really taking it to Man City, and had a couple chances. Had one chance on a set piece that Gabriel missed, and then another chance that Martinelli, a cross on the ground that Martinelli put into Trossard, who just put it high and over the post. And then Arsenal got their go-ahead goal in the 46th minute on another set piece from Gabriel on a cross from Saka. So that was good. Like I said, Arsenal had really taken it to in the last 15 minutes or so of the first half. Got their go-ahead goal in the 46th minute, so that was good to see. And then right before halftime, in the 48th minute, when, as far as I could tell, there was only going to be not the 48th minute. I guess it would have been the 53rd minute, because it was the 8th minute of stoppage time, which was interesting because I was under the impression that there's only going to be 6 minutes of stoppage time. So why they were still playing in the 53rd minute when the half should have ended in the 51st, I have no idea. Referee decided to get involved in the game and make it about himself and give Leandro Trossard what I thought was a soft yellow card. And I'm not even, it's been a couple hours since the game ended. I'm still not actually sure what it was for. If it was for the challenge on Bernardo Silva, or if it was for time wasting for kicking the ball away. Either one of which I think is kind of ridiculous, because he'd already let things get pretty physical, and I don't know that in the challenge I didn't think was that dangerous. He kind of went back to back. I mean, it's definitely, I can understand a foul being given, but I don't think it's warrants a yellow. Just going back to Bernardo Silva. So if it was for that, I don't understand. And if it's for time wasting, for kicking the ball away, I don't understand, because he literally kicked it away, I would say maybe 1 second after the whistle was blown, and Michael Oliver just went to his his pocket way too quick to pull out a yellow card. And you got to also remember, this is the same Michael Oliver that did not give Mateo Kovacic a yellow card last year at the Emirates for a clearly late slide tackle on Declan Rice with when his studs went into Declan Rice's foot or ankle. So that's the Michael Oliver we're dealing with. But luckily, so Arsenal going into half leading 2-1, and obviously that's a big hill. Even with a 2-1 lead, that's a big hill to overcome going into the second half against a team like Man City away, when you're only playing with 10 men. And to be honest, in the second half, there's not really much to talk about. It's kind of what you would expect. it was just Man City kicking the ball around the top of Arsenal's box, trying to break them down. I thought for the most part, well, not even for the most part, for the entirety of the second half until the last minute or so of the game, Arsenal did a very good job of not preventing City from not getting through. And then unfortunately, City had a shot at the last second of the game, or the last minute of the game, that was deflected and just bounced to John Stones, who was able to put it in the 98th minute. So that was frustrating from an Arsenal perspective, obviously. But overall, I think there's definitely some positives to take away. I think from an Arsenal perspective, our defense is super solid to be able to withstand that kind of pressure from a team like Man City for almost an entire half. A man down is pretty impressive. And so that's now, if I'm not mistaken, that's 3 goals we've given up in the Premier League. Two of them have come when we only had 10 men on the field. And I don't know. It just seems like to me, if we're able to play like that defensively, we're gonna win the league. Just because that's really impressive. My only concern is now that Leandro Trossard is gonna have to miss next game. We're gonna have to rely on probably a teenager to fill that spot. Which, I mean, from what I understand, if it is gonna be Ethan Nwaneri playing that role, from what I understand, he did have a good preseason, so that's positive. It's just kind of concerning that you have to rely on a 17-year-old to play kind of the creative midfield spot. But overall, as I said, even though it was pretty disappointing to tie that way at the end of the game, to give up a goal that late, I think realistically it's a positive result. We're still only 2 points behind. Our first 5 games were not easy, so to be only 2 points behind after our first 5 games of the season, I think is pretty good, especially when you consider 2 of those games we had to play an entire half, 2 entire halves, essentially a man down. So I think that's it for my reaction for this game. Not like I said, there's not a lot to talk about in the second half. It was just kind of Man City putting pressure on Arsenal. So we look forward to match week 6. I actually didn't even look who we play next week before I made this video, so I'll have to check that out. But I'll definitely be back for that video next week. I'm going to put another video out probably a little later today or tomorrow, kind of going over all the games from Matchday 5. But until next time, take care. You have any comments you want to make, feel free to make them. Would love to get some discussions going on some of this stuff. But thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.